Hello, I'm Josh, and the trash is taken out, and I feel like such a responsible adult. And then I let Danny out, and she immediately hightailed it to the mill that she's not supposed to get. So, and she was taking Jorah along for the ride, so she's locked up again. Oh, no, she's still here, like, why are you telling people this, mother? How dare you? The audacity! Just the audacity. Okay. I figured taking a break after the first chapter would be that would be good. Okay. Making sure everything is nice and comfy. She is really annoyed. Like, you just let me out and then you put me back in when I did nothing wrong?
As history repeats itself, the man remembers the patterns. He knows that he needs the missing part for the telescope.
I better find Dr. Meadows' car. That's where the camera should be.
Oh yeah, this isn't her car because you just came out of it. Aha, I'm a genius. Oh no. I don't think your car's that way. Keep running and nothing can hurt you. Don't think I didn't hear you, fuck. What's this? Huh. Fuck. Come on. Are you the fucker that splits? God. Hello. Manuscript pages. Observatory.
As a storyteller, my first real love was crime. And it was in that genre that I finished my first novel, starring the perpetually miserable Alex Casey, whose entire life was a wound that never healed. The books sold as fast as they hit the shelves. I wrote 5 more Alex Casey books, and they all were bestsellers. I became rich. I became famous. Success brought pressure, and I didn't handle it very well.
No shit, you didn't handle it well. Jesus, that's an understatement. Oh shit, I haven't checked any of the other chapters, but Alex K. At the time this case was made, this game was made, Alex Casey was still just a Max Payne Easter egg collection, basically. But once Control came out, Alex Casey is like, oh, he's actually a real person that Alan Wake accidentally wrote a series about. And no, Alex was not happy. Okay, let's listen to... Okay, let's take a nice little breather and listen to these chapters before I forget again.
The reality we take for granted is softer, more adaptable than we think. Under correct conditions, you can reshape it, turn it into almost anything you want. When it happens, almost nobody notices. It's not that we forget, it's that after the change, there's nothing to remember. Only those who have been directly touched by the powers that can shift reality are aware of the changes. Many are driven mad by it. Others can cope. I'm one of those people, and I know how to wield that power to rewrite reality. The strands of webbing glistened in the beam of my flashlight, fine, almost ethereal. They were fresh and right in my path. I held my breath and waited, ears straining. Nothing. I moved on, concentrating on the task at hand. Just get what I was looking for, then leave. That's all I keep telling myself. For a moment, I actually thought it might be as simple as that. Then, I heard too many legs skittering across the ground. My own face peered back at me from the TV screen. For a moment, I struggled with the sensation of déjà vu. How many times have I seen myself like this now? And then there was that easy grin that never seemed quite as quick or natural on my own lips. The dark, malicious twinkle in the eyes. And I knew who I was looking at. As he pulled back and revealed the room behind him, my throat went dry. There was nothing I could do but watch.
Yeah. The appearance of Mr. Scratch.
I'm trapped in the darkness. He has started appearing to me. Mr. Scratch. He can travel back into the world effortlessly, and he loves to rub my face in it. At first, he was just an echo in the darkness, a flicker beyond the edge of my vision. Now he started showing himself, getting bolder all the time, telling me what a great time he's having in the world while I'm stuck here, and what he plans to do, especially to Alice. All the moves I have left are dangerous and desperate. I have no choice. I have to hunt him.
Okay, going back to one of the DLCs of Alan Wake, Thomas Zane, or at least an entity claiming to be Thomas Zane. I babbled on about this theory during the streaming of Alan Wake. Is quote unquote Thomas Zane said that there is no way out of the dark place, but the fact that Mr. Scratch can travel, in and out of the dark place proves that either if it was Thomas Zane, he was lying, or it wasn't really Thomas Zane, just another figment of Alan Wake's mind, in which case Alan Wake didn't know there was a way out, so how could a figment of a part of his mind actually tell him, hey, you're actually wrong? Okay, we're going to finish reading these, then get back to the actual game, and once we get to the observatory, we'll read all the chapter 2 pages we have at the moment. My best
I don't make
friend.
friends easily. I know plenty of people, but I don't let most of them close. I've known Barry Wheeler ever since we were little boys. We had the time of our lives. I'd get us in trouble, and he'd talk us out of it. Things haven't changed that much now that we're grown-ups. He's the most loyal and dependable person I've ever met, and all the things that count anyway. You could call him a weasel, and you wouldn't be entirely wrong. You could call him a clown, and I would reluctantly agree. But he has never let me down.
Night Springs, the cult TV
Night
show.
Springs doesn't exist. It's a fictional town from the TV show I used to work on. It was Any Place USA, a place we used as a backdrop for whatever strange story we had that week. One of the stories I wrote for the show involved a man, the champion of light, fighting his evil double, the Herald of Darkness. It was something I'd written back in the real world, something I had a link to, a framework I could build on. I had adapted it into a new story. This story.
Talking about how Alan Wake used his powers unintentionally to write a series based on a real man, without actually knowing Alex Casey was real at the moment. The fact that he wrote about a champion of light, a herald of darkness, back in the real world. Yeah, he was using his powers unintentionally. God. Night Springs,
Now
Arizona.
Night Springs is in Arizona, although not for long. It's in Arizona because whatever the town that has become Night Springs is really called is located near one of the thin, worn places in the world where dreams and reality flow together and life is always a little strange. Perfect analogy for Night Springs. I can't return to the real world. I've tried, but I'm operating on dream logic, forcing the door open a crack so I can slip through. I can enter the strange little town of Night Springs. All I did was put it in Arizona for one night.
God, in Alan Wake 2, and I'd have to double check with Control, there's... God, I was thinking of the word, and... God, now I can't think of it, of course, but yeah. There are places in reality where, you can travel, and... Yeah, so he just picked up one of those little tears and decided to set up shop there. But
In
The
Bright Falls,
Spectre.
I was constantly under attack by birds that were more shadow than flesh and feathers. But this is an evolution. Some of the Taken were actually capable of turning into a flock of birds to escape my attacks and turning back into human form to make surprise attacks.
Annoying as shit is what that is.
With
Emma
all the herbs,
Sloan.
crystals, and the rest of her New Age paraphernalia, Emma Sloan had been called a hippie and a freak and worse. It was that small-town mentality. She was a female mechanic, and even in 2011, there were always going to be backward shit-kickers who thought that was a hoot. She didn't mind. She could deal. She could take any engine apart, even the new ones with all the computers in them. Turned out that these boys were awful polite while waiting for her to put them back together.
Oh shit, you know your shit. Okay, now what the fuck is it? Hello. Okay, I don't have enough. Oh, another manuscript page. Yes, please. Yeah, you don't need the manuscript pages to complete the game, but they really start to... What they do is bring life to the world, and you get insights and shit.
I should find the camera before I talk to her.
Do not jump, Alan. I know things seem hopeless, but do not jump. Oh, the spider's gonna be over there? there maybe in the script? Oh fuck! You? Oh, checkpoint. Oh, I am going the right direction? That sucks. Oh, yeah, I can't go up there for obvious reasons. I saw something glow. Where do we go? Oh, there's the one. Okay, we'll get to you later. Creepy sounds. Oh fuck! Ooh, hello. Did I ever mention I have a really shitty sense of direction? I think you've all figured out by this point because, yeah. I thought that was going to be another manuscript page, but oh well. Okay. Ooh, candy. Gets the imaging array. Okay, and of course, first we must figure out where the fuck are we going. Okay. God, you won't go any. Oh, fuck. One of these days, I will figure out where the fuck to go.
Oh, praise be. You guys are coming through for me. A pretty little light just started blinking on my board here, and that means there's a caller out there. You know, when the hours stretch into eternity like this, when it feels like I'm stuck in a rut and just reliving the same endless night over and over again, I feel genuinely touched by someone actually reaching out to me, breaking the monotony. I just want you to know that it really matters to me. Caller, you're on the air.
You suck, Eddie!
Did you know that this is my dream job? True fact.
through. Just so I don't normally go for walkthroughs, but I really don't want to spend the next 5 fucking hours. Okay, great. There's no actual... Okay, pictures. I need pictures. Let's get the garage. Okay, let's fucking try this one more goddamn fucking time. Or else I'm gonna have to look for something. Get the imagery in a array. Wait, use? Ah! Okay, I did that. Oh my god. That would have been so easy about 50 years ago. Oh my god. There's a fucking scroll. Fuck. Shit. Okay. Never played or seen how this is in basic. Yeah. Okay.
I know what you're
Oh
thinking.
God.
Evil twin, supernatural powers. But most of the time, I just like to keep things basic. I want you
Oh
to
God.
understand that.
What do you mean by basic?
Like this.
Oh God, of course.
Need to get your hands dirty? No batteries, no moving parts, just physics. That's technology you can depend on. It's a classic. Speaking of classics, you need to be careful with this one, though. If the victim suddenly twists, you might end up cutting yourself. It's not really
Oh,
a
that's the
workhorse.
problem.
I'm a sucker for this style.
Of course, you're a sucker
Now
for
this is more like
style.
You've got slip-resistant grip. Believe me, you really want that traction once you're wrist deep in somebody. The blade's stiff enough so it won't open by accident in your pocket, but it's still really easy to open with just one hand. Now that's a big thing for me. I know what you're thinking. It's too big, too heavy. But sometimes you just need the extra oomph. If you're talking intimidation, this is gonna do the job.
Oh my God.
Also great for dismemberings and whatnot. You know, the messy jobs. I can't tell you how many things I've MacGyvered with this stuff. Okay, now, guns. Not a big fan. I mean, how are you supposed to really connect with somebody with a bullet?
I mean, he's got a point. No, not very
I want you to
personal.
understand that. I take pride in what I do. We can't both be worthless hacks, can we?
Yeah, Mr. Scratches. Okay, basically, Alan's shadow, you know, all the Carl Jung thing of the parts of ourselves we don't really like to think about. So it's basically Alan talking shit about himself. Okay, let's look at a lovely dovey. Yes, lovey-dovey manuscript pages. And after that, we will go speak with the scientist.
The pressure of success got to me. My wife Alice was the sole thing in my life that anchored me. Suddenly it wasn't enough. I couldn't write anymore. I distracted myself with wild parties and whatever trouble I could scare up. I wallowed in the drama of my life, sure that Alice would stick with me even though she didn't sign up to be the lifeline of a tortured artist. It was my dumb luck she's not the type to give up.
You okay?
Yeah, it's just, you left all those monitors out from where they weren't supposed to be, and I keep tripping over it. It's not moving.
Okay. The genesis of Mr. Scratch.
I've seen the enemy, and it's me. I've faced dark horrors before, things that live in the unimaginable pressures of the world beyond our own. Sometimes they masquerade as humans. That's what ultimately lurks inside Mr. Scratch. He's every mean-spirited tabloid story about me, an evil caricature, a creature formed in that vague territory of misconceptions, half-truths, and the dark imagination of people who heard a story about me. An urban legend made flesh, a serial killer, my dark half, brought to life by the power of Cauldron Lake.
Fighting the Taken.
I've carried a flashlight and a gun for so long that I feel naked without either. It's all too often that I need them. The darkness protects the Taken. Shadows crawl over their forms like living things, protecting them from harm. Blows that would injure or kill a human outright mean nothing to them as long as the darkness persists. But light makes them vulnerable. Light burns the shadows away. The darkness that drives them is still in them, but now they're vulnerable. Flashlight and gun. Sometimes it feels they're all I have left.
Shit.
The spiders aren't really the work of the enemy. They're a side effect. A part of the Dark Place's less significant fauna that has managed to slip through the opening I made when I arrived. less an animal than an idea that has assumed the form of an animal. Makes them no less dangerous, but at least they're a little easier to deal with. The darkness doesn't protect them like the Taken, and thus they can be destroyed by either light or bullets right away.
Well, that explains why they're so easy to kill. Stay safe.
I will call you next.
Okay.
Before I'm going yet. 'Cause it's after 6.
I love you.
It's Sunday, right?
Yeah. Okay. New reality,
The
fragment
atmosphere
1.
in the projection booth at the drive-in was charged, almost unreal. Despite that, the air felt cool and refreshing this late at night. It'd been a hot day. The summer was nearing its end, but it wasn't over yet.
The darkness.
The darkness rose from the depths of Cauldron Lake and took Alice. It needed words. It needed me to write its way into our world. She was leverage, a hostage. I complied, but with a twist. I put in a loophole that gave me a chance to fight back. I was hunted by shadowy enemies, but I faced the darkness. I fought it with light. I drove it back. I saved Alice, but it came with a cost. I was trapped in the dark place below Cauldron Lake.
Lost in the dark
After my
place.
disappearance, they thought I was dead. I might as well have been. I know it's been 2 years. I know Alice has moved on. I've tried to find a way back to her, back to my life, but escaping the dark place is almost impossible. Time does strange things here, but dreams and radio signals can pierce the veil between the worlds. I catch glimpses and echoes of the world. Sometimes I send messages out. I can only pray that they hear them.
The nature
Stories
of
come
stories.
naturally to us. We can't help it. There are many different worlds, many competing realities within our heads, fueled by books, television, even barely remembered childhood tales. There's an endless supply of fictional concepts more familiar to us than anything or anyone real. We have a far greater connection to the fictional characters we know and love than the random people we pass on the street. Our destinies and inspirations are shaped by lies, myths, and fables.
Dude, Oxford comma. I'm sorry. God. It's all creepy and, makes you think and shit, but what about the Oxford comma? No? No? Okay. Okay, I'll just go away, I guess. Cosmological
There are
truths.
places where our world is worn thin and another reality brushes against ours. One such site is Cauldron Lake near Bright Falls, Washington. But there are others. That other reality is dark, vast, and malleable, always in flux. In its depths dwell vast forces and alien energies. They're dangerous. But in one of these places, if you know how, you can channel the power of that place and use it to shape reality.
The
The
Taken.
Taken may well be the tool the darkness favors over any other. At some point, they used to be human, but whatever humanity they once had is long gone. Now they're just shells covered and filled by darkness. The Taken Mr. throws at me are more grotesque and varied than the ones I first encountered in Bright Falls. But I know how to deal with them. I'd be lying if I said they don't frighten me. But I've survived worse. I can't let them stop me.
Dr.
When
Meadows.
Dr. Rachel Meadows got the call from Michael, telling her to hurry to the observatory, she didn't waste any time. It had been a nice party. She'd had a good time, but her social life would always play second fiddle to the mysteries of space. Michael never showed up, of course. He pulled over at the wrong rest stop. She never even thought about him at the time. The phenomenon in the sky above her was too fascinating.
Yeah. Getting distracted by your own work. I understand that. Although I'm not a scientist. Seeing that, I stream so much. I write, I blog.
You'll have to forgive me, but this feels very strange. It seems like this has all happened before.
I have the replacement part for your telescope, Doctor.
All right. Let's get it installed.
Okay. There's something else here. Just imagining the little line saying, "Hey, there's a manuscript page over here." I like manuscript pages. I keep on turning away. Okay. Oh, over here. Okay, let's do a little refill. Okay, let's fix the telescope. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
I think we can give this a go, although I have this strange feeling that something will
Don't
go
start
wrong.
it up yet. There's a problem with the coolant system.
Yes, that's right. I remember. All right, let me think. If they're sabotaging it, they'll be at the primary coolant pipe outside. If you can secure it, we should be ready to pick up the signal. That is why you're here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'll take care of it.
Before you go, if you have the time, I'd appreciate if you came up here and explained a few things. All of this is very strange to me.
So the short version is ah, and the longer version is just a longer, prolonged ah.
Hello.
I don't quite know what's going on, but I seem to remember having had this encounter before.
It's not deja vu, Doctor. This has happened before. We're caught in a time loop.
That's utterly insane. How could that be?
I can't really explain it.
Fuck it.
I suppose I could call it magic.
I don't believe in magic.
Neither do I. But I can't argue with what I've experienced. Listen, what matters now is the signal. The last time we only caught a part of it. I need the rest of it. Whether you believe me or not, you want to look into this as much as I do, right?
Yes. All right.
I realize that you have trouble believing this.
That's an understatement. I can't deny that what you say resonates with me on some level I don't pretend to understand. But for all I know, I'm simply delusional.
But it's not just you. I've experienced the same thing as you. Doesn't that prove something, at least?
Maybe. On the other hand, given your appearance, and the fact that you're trying to convince me that I'm not insane, perhaps you're merely a hallucination that accompanies my delusions.
You're not having a psychotic episode, Doctor. For what it's worth, I'm a skeptic by nature. I completely understand your reluctance to believe me.
There are people caught so deep in their psychosis that they retroactively manufacture memories and beliefs that conform to the situation at hand.
Sure, but you have to stop second-guessing yourself at some point, if you want to get something done.
I mean, crazy person's got a point. Is there anything else to pick here? They got sexy scientists by going, oh yeah, she just came from a party. Yeah. We know scientists don't dress like this, but you know, sexy McScientist. Secure the primary pipes. Yay, let's get lost again. Whee! Okay. can I push that over? No, I don't think I can. Oh, I thought the game was freezing up for a moment. No. I need to use the restroom. Ah, fuck, fine. Fine. Okay, let's find those pipes. I was just casually strolling. I'm not scared. Nothing can scare me. Except spiders. Fuck spiders. Use.
These beams hate the light, am I correct? Doctor, can you hear me? You should be able to turn on the lights and secure the area that way. All right, I'll start looking for the signal. Please, head back.
Oh, don't worry. I just want to stay out here where the darkness could kill me. Actually, killing would be a lot better than being trapped in my goddamn it. You have to like maximum overdrive so fucking much.
I didn't like that.
Oh, you think? You fucking think? Oh, they must. Oh fuck. Oh, they must not have liked that. Really? Really? No. No, no.
Shit.
Oh fuck. Run, run, run! Got one light. Oh my god.
It's working. Please, come up here.
Coming. Give me a moment till here.
Find a signal?
Yes, I don't think it's quite the same thing we had, the last time. Still, we're definitely picking it up.
Are we getting the complete signal now?
I'm afraid not. Take a look at it yourself. I'm printing out a hard copy now. I'd like to ask you a question or two before that, though, if you don't mind.
What's on your mind, Doctor?
Most people would find these events extremely disturbing, provided that they survive these creatures, that is. You seem to be quite adept at dealing with the situation. Why is that?
Yes.
I'm
I was
insane.
involved in... It's a complex story. I was in this small town, and a horrible thing from another dimension kidnapped my wife and manipulated me into writing this horror story that came true. I learned to fight it with light, and I managed to contain it and free my wife. But I was trapped in its world.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. So, I'm
No,
used to
he's Alan
reality
Wake.
working in strange or even impossible ways. And I fought these things, not exactly like this, but close enough for a good while now. Of course, I have certain advantages. Was there
I'm
anything else?
sexy.
What did you mean when you said you have advantages?
At the risk of sounding like a lunatic, reality is much more
Too
fluid
late.
than people think. It can be influenced.
I didn't take you for a mystic.
I'm not. I'm a writer. And under certain conditions, I can,
Same
for
thing.
lack of a better word, rewrite reality. Change things.
That's absurd.
But it works.
Assuming I believe this, why didn't you simply, I don't know, write yourself some superpowers?
It's not quite that simple. You need to follow certain laws of drama, I suppose. You need to think about consistency and symbolism. Often what you write isn't anywhere near as important as what you imply. There are things out there that will take advantage of your mistakes.
You really believe in this?
Don't look at me like that. You've experienced some of this yourself.
I will gladly admit that something exceedingly strange is going on. But this idea that you're somehow altering reality with your writing is ridiculous. You're essentially saying you're controlling my actions. Leaving aside the rational arguments against this, what gives you the right?
Well, it's more like having a destiny. A path you're on. You're not aware of it, but there it is. If somebody changes it, what difference does it make? It's what every writer does. If you write something that affects one of the characters, they don't really know about that.
I'm not a character. Are you saying that it's all right to take advantage of someone if they aren't aware of it?
Look, all I meant was that if you're genuinely making all your own decisions, and those decisions lead to whatever destiny you have, what practical difference does it make?
I suppose that depends on whether our destinies are determined by things like physics and probabilities, or natural reality, which is presumably neutral and impartial, or by some kind of an intelligence. If it's the latter, that intelligence makes choices based on some criteria. If we suffer as a result of those choices, there's a moral and ethical element involved, regardless of whether we're aware of its manipulations. Wouldn't you agree?
You're taking this very well. I thought you'd be hangry.
She's not Alex Casey,
could actually
dude.
do this.
Yeah, that's a good point. Before I go on another little break, it's Alan Wake's like, hey, well, you're not aware of it, so there's really no practical difference. And her response is like, well, if you're aware of doing these things, you do have a moral responsibility at some point. But what he's basically saying is that he can't control every action. He just... Okay. It's like the answer to equation is 4. The answer has to be 4, but how you get 4 is all up to you. So what he's basically saying is, yeah, I put the the eventual outcome for certain, but you still decide in how you get there. Or it's like going on a little road trip, and like, since Arizona was mentioned, like, it's in this game, it's like, okay, let's go on a road trip to Phoenix, Arizona. And so that has to be for certain, but how you end up getting to Phoenix, Arizona is all up to you. So you're still in control of your actions. Just the eventual outcome is not the event, but how you get there is all up to you. So technically, he's isn't controlling how people react. So, yeah, that was a really good fucking conversation, and I am going to be taking a small break. So, if you're watching this live on Twitch, feel free to ask me any odd question you have on your mind, and I will answer it after I,